Behavior of bubbles in the vicinity of the ice of carbonated water was observed for the purpose of obtaining the knowledge about organized movement of molecules of water. Movements of the bubble of carbon dioxide in the ice were observed by zooming of a digital camera. Does the flickering of the zoom-up video contain the organized movement of molecules of water? Since the movement is fast, this movie is replaying by slow motion of 8 frames per second. But this video was photographed at 30 frames per second. Small white bubbles are moving. This is the flicker noise of the digital camera Pentax Optio W90. Here, the magnification is the maximum in this camera. The slow-motion movie is replayed at 8 frames per second. The flicker noise of digital camera decreases a little by a low-resolution process. This is a video with reduced resolution by using Windows Media Encoder. The movement of small bubbles can be recognized the more clearly at the slow-motion replay with the low resolution. The surface of ice at the later stage of thaw was observed by zoom up. This is the replay by slow motion of 8 frames per second. The movements can be recognized the more clearly in the slow motion replay with the low resolution. There are hexagonal structures with a bulge at the center. The carbon dioxide that exists as bubbles in the ice dissolves into this carbonated water. If carbonated water is saturated, bubbles of carbon dioxide are generated from the ice containing carbon dioxide gas. After the wheel shape of the structural unit of molecules of water is tilted from the horizontal to vertical, will form a sphere. By injecting carbon dioxide gas to carbonate the water, the bubble that is released from the ice is not lost. There are plural types of the structural unit of the molecule of water. Structural unit of the wheels type of water is similar to one of the snow crystals will be shown the next. Structural units of the molecule of water are similar to snow crystals. The difference of activation energy between the ice and liquid water is a little. The molecule of water in liquid is tetrahedral. The unit connects along to the three directions of electric axis by the Coulomb force, and it is grown perpendicular to the electric axis. So, it forms a helix. The lattice structure of water is obtained by rotations of tetrahedron around the electric axis of beta structure. See, the rotation results in the reduction ratio of cosine theta. This reduction results in a cohesive force. Molecules of water make the rotational vibration accompanying with expansion and contraction by the thermal motion in the helical arrangement. Thermal motion of the bigger organization of water molecules is slower. This is the replay of 4 frames per second. The rotational vibration without rotation is observed. Observation of attractive force due to the helical structure of water. The molecule of water grows the spiral structure on the membrane of the bubble. This structure condenses the water in the area. Therefore, condensation of water will occur between the two bubbles close. Small bubbles will be attracted into the large planar structure, but it will separate away easily. Helical structure can be grown quickly in a vertical direction by the rotational state of tetrahedrons. But the larger spiral structure of water does not grow on the surface of the small bubbles. A flying bubble is absorbed into the girth of other bubbles. The girth of moving bubble will absorb the other bubbles. Two bubbles coalesce when the girth is in contact with each other. Bubble of sandwich type will coalesce with white water around the torso. A bubble inhales a cluster of water around the torso, and the structure will split. It is considered that the girth of sandwich bubble and the region of white water are the cluster of water of the helical structure. Helix structure of moving water causes the spiral motion in the water. Since the spiral structure of water that decreases the volume grows from the surface of the bubbles, the aggregate of the bubble will be a sandwich structure. This large bubble is born from some bubbles. A bubble of sandwich structure that occurred up horizontally becomes the bubble-like snowman. The bubble that does not form a sandwich structure is decomposed into several bubbles during floating up. The bubble is formed by gathering of the carbon dioxide that emerges from the ice of carbonated water. Formation of the helical structure by the excited state of the hydrogen bond. Helical structure is formed so as to swirl, but hydrogen bond of tetrahedron must be excited state as fluidized state. When the tetrahedron in a helical structure starts to rotate, flows occur in the through hole. So the helical structure will grow instantly. This phenomenon occurs at the coalescence of bubbles. There is through hole in a direction perpendicular to the plane of electric axis, where movement of hydrogen atom pair is linked in the same direction. Since state of rotating tetrahedron is an excited state of hydrogen bonds, the spiral structure of water is built instantly at the coalescence of bubbles. It is presumed that the tetrahedrons of water molecule become excited state of the rotary. Since coalesce of bubbles includes the construction of spiral structure, the bubble in movement will be pulled back at coalesce. The coalescence of bubbles caused by the collision will take place within a period of 1 frame. White image of the moment of coalescence shows a phenomenon of an instant change. This video shows the coalescence of bubbles that occurred in the carbonated water by powder of iron. These photographs indicate the process of coalescence in the frame by frame. The cohesive force of the water between two membranes contributes to this phenomena. Conclusions. Since big clusters of water are formed in the vicinity of the ice, we can observe the thermal motion of cluster that is accompanied with the expansion and contraction by rotational vibration of tetrahedron. The helical structure of water grows and shrinks through a rotated arrangement of tetrahedral units. It makes you look like an hail, but it is result of reorganization of the other cluster of water. The moving helix structure of water may induce the spiral motion in the water. If the tetrahedron in a helical structure starts to rotate, a flow of one direction takes place in through hole of helix, and the spiral structure will stretch instantly. Behaviors of water molecules in the spiral structure play a very important role in the origin of life. The phenomenon can be glimpsed at coalesce of bubbles. Thanks you for your attention.